Well, this is a pretty niche kind of video. If you know who Arthur Pawlowski is, he's a Canadian pastor who's been a kind of a political prisoner here in Canada. Well, his son went across the pond to the EU and gave a speech on like the political mess and the abuse of power and the tyrannical Justin Trudeau and how he's been keeping his own father as a political prisoner, and he got a standing ovation. So we're going to take a look at that speech. We're going to take a look at an article, and we're going to take a look at my fourth YouTube channel, which I'm so excited to announce and so excited to start back up, which is called Sunshine Off Grid. There's no videos now. I haven't yet made anything. I'm trying to get a little bit of momentum on the channel before I start making videos. But for those who don't know, I used to live in a van for 4 years, and I'm now kind of recommissioning one of my camper vans. That's kind of like a condo on wheels. It's a very luxury interior design. And with my new family, with my wife and like 9-month-old daughter, I'm super excited to do some like winter camping or summer camping and stuff like that. And so I will be vlogging that in kind of like an ASMR style. I don't think I'll be doing lots of talking. It'll just be more of like what we're doing. So it's super interesting. If you're into like solar or camping or fishing and all those things, I'd highly recommend going to that. The link for that is down in the description, which is Sunshine Off Grid or Mr. Sunshine Baby Off Grid. You can find it through my channel here, which would be a link. All right, without further ado, well, first of all, encourage you to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And now, without further ado, let's take a look at this ad-infiltrated article here by the Daily Mail. Son of Canadian pastor gets standing ovation in EU Parliament as he slams Prime Minister Trudeau for taking freedom and democracy away from citizens as his father faces jail time for sermon to truckers blocking U.S.-Canada border last year. Arthur Pawlowski was found guilty and faces 10 years in prison for delivering sermons to truckers blocking the U.S.-Canada border last year. Nathaniel Pawlowski, 23, spoke on behalf of his father at the EU Parliament on July 4th, and Pawlowski remains under house arrest as he awaits court date on August 9th. The son of a Canadian pastor who faces jail time for preaching to truckers who blocked the U.S.-Canada border last year receives a standing ovation as he slammed Prime Minister Justin Trudeau for taking freedom and democracy away from its citizens. And here is the video. Powerful Pastor Arthur Pawlowski's speech at the European Parliament via video, and Nathaniel Pawlowski's speech in person at Brussels in Belgium, testifying about persecution happening in Canada.
Thank you for having me. My name is Nathaniel Pawlowski from Canada. I'm the son of Pastor Arthur Pawlowski, who you will hear in just a minute. I am here today in desperation, a cry for help. I would like to stand here and tell you all the things about freedom and democracy that I like, but I no longer know those things. They have been taken away from us Canadians. Canada has fallen. We no longer have freedom of religion or freedom of speech or the right to protest or assemble or associate or express ourselves or have free media or disagree with the government. Anyone who does so is arrested, charged, and jailed as political dissidents.
That's actually true.
Just found guilty of inciting mischief for giving a sermon to the truckers when they went and stood for our rights in 2022. A Christian sermon that referenced the solidarity movement was criminal in our government's eyes. A charge that has a penalty of up to 10 years in prison. This case sets a precedent to all Canadians and the world if you allow this to happen, that anybody, including politicians and media, do not have the freedom to say or express what they have on their hearts for fear that what they say is mischief and could be liable to prison. I myself have been charged for preaching and reading the Bible publicly because the government claims the Bible isn't inclusive and is hateful. This is what the Canadian government is doing to us. In my father's case, the Crown prosecutor, and I believe in naming names because our oppressors do not get to get away with this without being named and shamed.
I'd say that's fair.
Prosecutor Stephen Johnston and Judge Gordon Crink claimed that when Pastor Arthur, my father, referenced the solidarity movement in his 19-minute sermon, it was an act of mischief against the government. The very solidarity movement that this parliament reveres and has placards about all over the building. the peaceful movement that broke the Iron Curtain and repelled the communist hold on Europe. The movement the Canadian government condemns and says is unacceptable. So I ask you, the rest of the free world, to intercede on Canada's behalf and pressure the Canadian tyrants to stop persecuting law-abiding free Canadians, especially clergy. They simply did their duty and gave hope. My father told the truckers to stand for their rights, solidarity style, and to do so peacefully. His sentencing is this August 9th, 2023, and if he goes down, we are all lost as Canadians. If a pastor goes to prison, what can they do to the rest of us? For giving a sermon in Canada, they are no better than the tyrants of old. So please, I ask you for help and to pressure Canada on this matter and to help us deal with our oppressors who act like modern-day Caligulas. Trudeau is a modern-day Caligula. We cannot allow these mad emperors to run mad. And remember, all of this is being done under the guise of health, safety, and protecting us. By stripping our rights and ushering in tyranny, we must not allow Canada to treat its citizens, and especially clergy, this way. The WHO has structured a way to take away our rights, and our local governments are doing that. Now you will hear my father. He will speak via video. So this is Pastor Arthur Pawlowski, political prisoner.
Very, very good speech, young man. Fantastic. The EU Parliament really doesn't like Justin Trudeau, which is why you saw lots of support with Christine Anderson, who's the EU member of Parliament, who caused a pretty big stir in Canadian politics at a recent point in the past 6 months or 12 months.
I am Arthur Pawlowski, born behind the Iron Curtain.
You know what? If you would like to watch this part, then you're more than welcome to. I can put the this is on Arthur Pawlowski's Twitter account, and I'll try to remember to link it down below. If you want to watch the full thing, you could do that. But I don't want to take up too much time right now because we're approaching the 8 or 9 minute mark of this video. So I'd like to pass the question off to you. How do you feel about the political attacks and the political prisoners here in Canada? I don't think that first of all, I don't think that Arthur Pawlowski deserves this type of treatment at all from the information that I have, and the information in which has been used to indict or to attack Arthur Pawlowski doesn't really seem sufficient by the law. I mean, he gave sermons, he's a pastor, he had no calls to action, he wasn't violent, he was just there. He existed during the trucker convoy and during that whole the whole event, and he gave sermons. So I don't see how that is a breach of the law, but maybe there's something that I'm missing. But I'd love to know what you guys think down below. Do you think that this is warranted? Do you think that he deserves this? Or do you think that, the Canadian government is just overreaching and they're like totally attacking people to make examples out of them? I'd love to know what you guys think down below in the comments, because political prisoners here in Canada is a real thing. People are being held against their will unjustly, and it's just, what do you do? Like, what do you do when you live in a shoe? You don't have enough power to take on the Canadian government and solve things immediately. That's why you're seeing these attacks last years, right? The trucker convoy was almost a year and a half ago, and people are still either in jail or political prisoners, and it's just wrong on so many levels. So I'd love to know what the community thinks down below. And that's where we're going to end the video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for making it to the end of the video. If you want to support the channel financially, you can do so by checking out the merch shop linked right up there. Or if you want to do something for free, which is also absolutely acceptable and highly encouraged, you can subscribe right there. If you want to continue watching videos like this, you can do so by clicking or tapping right there to watch the next upcoming video. And if you want to watch a little bit of different content, but also Canadian stuff, you can do so by clicking right up there. That's my second channel, House of Canada, also known as the House of Commons Highlights. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.